Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at PulseRipper by Simon Alexander. It'll rip your pulse to hell. So it's a jack. Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the show. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And of course, I hope you're doing okay. Yes, indeed. It's cold. It's really cold, and it's really early, and it's 1 degree in the morning. Yay, 1 degree! I love getting up early in the morning. That puts a spring in your step. So says Thomas Christ. That's what he says every day. If you haven't heard him, I don't know what you're doing. Tremor Bear, what's happening? He's lurking, the jerkin. Ed B. Metal, g'day, g'day. Costa's in traffic, taking a load off. Good to see you, Costa. And who else? Rise of Dark Leela, thanks for the dump. Thanks for the show. I watched you. I fixed that error there. Whoops, I forgot to change the name of the show when I did the template. Fixed up. Thanks, Leela, for pointing it out. Hugh Caldwell, hello to you. Yeah, these things help. If you want to do them. If you don't, you don't. Thanks, Thomas, for banging the links. Award Warrior. We do a special Award Warrior show now. Members only show once a week. It happens after Thomas's Make It Rock, and it's kind of cool. I think maybe it is. We'll see this week if it's cool or not. I can't even find the thumbnail. There it is. I think it's this one. Members only. Boom, for $1. You can be a part of the members. You get your emojis and all that jazz, and you get to be a part of this. And we're going to go through all my AUM projects this week and see if we can find a song and make something out of it. That'll be fun. Why not? Hey, it even made, look at that. I got an Impetigo t-shirt on. I've always wanted an Impetigo t-shirt. That's pretty cool. Sean Chandler, hello to you. Good to see you. Doug Kidder, he was dumped and he didn't even know it. He got dumped on, man. Just to be clear, I just want to put this out there. The term dump that we use, that came from me, it's a redirect. It's not a slur. Anyway, people out there. Some people. The Falcrow. Hello, Falcrow. What's going on? Jenny, hello. I got through most of you. We got through most of you. We're going to get into this app. Let's get this off the screen. Come back over here and see my ugly head. And, yeah, we're going to check out this app. So it's called PulseRipper. Let me give you a bit of a detail in why I'm doing this demo so late, because this came out ages ago. But what happened was, again, during the time that the Brad example came here for holidays, I fell behind with a bunch of apps, and a whole bunch of apps slipped through the cracks. And, you know, this cycle of apps, they go so fast, it's kind of, you lose track and forget which ones you've got to go back to and redo. And this was one of the ones that slipped through those cracks. So we're going to go back and cover it today because it's a pretty decent app. It is PulseRipper by Simon Alexander, and it is $10 to purchase. So there's no in-app purchases. You own it. Plus, also, just dropped today, actually, so only a very short while ago, all of Simon's other apps, which we're going to be covering over the next 2 weeks, because I've had to backtrack a bunch of them. Let me just flick over to my desktop. There it is. Boom. So they've just released a pack. So you can get all of these. So here they are individually. PulseRipper, Ghost Chorus, Echo Flower, which we're covering not tomorrow, the day after, and SuperStickers. You can get all of them for the mere cost of $24.99 right there. Now, if you already own one of them, this bundle price will change. It will adjust to the ones you already have. So Apple say it doesn't always work, but there you go. You're looking at normally $32, $33 worth, getting them for, you know, almost $10 difference. So there is that, in case you wanted to know. But we're just looking at the individual PulseRipper today, and it's $10 on the iOS App Store. Shall we open up something and have a look at what's going on? There we go. So here it is. We got a few scalers. I'm going to kick off just with the bass and drums. They've both. One of them's got a PulseRipper on it, the bass, and the drums that's not an instance of it. That is a side chain. So what's interesting about this is it's a side chaining unit as well to get some really interesting effects with pulses and distortion. So they're the two sounds you're going to hear. We've got a piano over here that has Echo Flower and PulseRipper. A few scalers. Shut up, Jade. Just play it. All right, there you go. So, sounds pretty interesting, don't you think? Yes, yes, indeed. Let's shut it down. Shut it down. Let's open it up and take a look at how it works. So, what I'm going to do is we'll create a MIDI track just to create a pattern. We'll load up in here some strings. What have we got? We've got pure strings here. So let's why not? We'll load up pure strings, and we'll load up over here just a scaler, find some chords, send it over, and then we'll load up our ripper, PulseRipper. It's got a cool name, you got to admit. We'll just hit a pretty basic scale. We'll do an 80s scale, something like that. And let's come in here and select these two. In fact, let's not select any of them. We'll come into our sequence and let's do our playback timings. And we can probably extend this. Maybe. See how that sounds. Come back over here. We'll lock this in. Nice. So this is pure strings, which we covered here on the show. Nice. Since I did the show, they did some really cool updates and fixed some of the problems, which there were problems actually with Scalar sending notes. Hey, bloody Ritual, what's going on? Good to see you. Have I got everyone? I have. All right, let's throw in PulseRipper. Now, what I'm going to do too is throw a barricade on here because things can get gnarly and you should protect everything. So we'll just come in here and throw in a barricade. Barricade's a limiter, so we can just flick this open, pull it down a little bit, just so we're not going to blow anyone's ears out because shit can get loud because distortion does that, doesn't it? All right, let's make sure this is all off. Let's play these chords. So you can hear adding it straight away, you're going to hear a difference. And why is that? I'll tell you straight away, because the rip button is set to 12. So this is your init patch. When you hit init, you can bring things back. So 12 will be your setting there for the init. Not only when you open up the preset pack, you can actually move it around now. This is a new feature, so you can move this little preset box out the way if you want to. While we're in the presets, so you can flick through presets like so, how you like. Happy days. You can save a preset just by hitting save, give it a name, we'll just call it new preset, and hit save, and that will appear over here. An interesting thing about these presets, just so you know, because sometimes with presets, you save them and then you go and open them up in another door and they're not in there. Well, there's a system that's built into this that allows you to access your presets no matter what door. Okay, and you may not find them in the little preset thing in here, but you will find them like in Logic in the little preset section on the side. So if you make a preset in AUM, you'll be able to open it in Cubase, you'll be able to open it in GarageBand, you'll be able to open it in Logic. Just be happy about that. And if you want to delete it, boink, delete. You've got to delete up the top. There's not too many presets. Gives you plenty, just a little starting palette for you to mess about with. You want to get off that little preset page, you just click off I don't even know what language I'm speaking. Ed Zelinsky. Presets, you can get to them. Pete Johns, what's going on? Just by tapping this little preset button here, that'll bring up your presets, all right? You've got a bypass here. This will bypass everything. You can tell if we hit play. Bypass. Yeah? Happy days. So let's start off with our pulse. I'm going to turn down all of these. So we've got our ripper side and we've got our pulse side. I'm going to turn these both down so we're not getting any distortion. Justine Casbrick, what is going on? Hello to you. And we're going to focus on the pulse section. Double tap anywhere on these circles and they will bring you back to the regular setting. Boom. Right? Double tap. And it brings you back to 12 here. So double tap will fix any mistakes that you make. Let's double tap the signal up to 50 and we're all good to go. So what does the pulsation do? Well, it's kind of like an LFO, but it's a pulse. So it'll take the sounds and pulsate them. So let's play. So you've got your pulsation here. How? And then you've got underneath your depth. That's what she said. So you can see that the more you bring down the depth, the more subtle the waves are, or the pulsations. You also have 3 different waveforms. It looks like a triangle, square, and a sine. And the more you turn this up, let's get to the square, you're going to hear those pulsations a whole lot more. Pause and guitar. Hello. You can also control how much of this is coming through the signal. So our main dial here, this is the signal. We turn this down, there's nothing. 50%, is the sweet spot. And this signal is also allowing the rip to come through as well. Let's go full. Really nice stuff. So many uses for this kind of effect. Denise, hello. So there's your pulses. We'll turn all those down and let's talk about the ripper, because over here we have a tube saturator. And you can hear that just gives it so much depth. That's what she said. Really brings it alive. And then we have our rip dial, which is pure unadulterated distortion. Wow. So we don't have any of the tube on. So pretty decent. Now this is one of my favorite parts. This dial here is in all of Simon's apps. Plus there's another app too that he's released, which is only a couple of bucks, called SuperSitter, which pretty much uses the technology of this. So the sit button, what this does is, it's kind of like an EQ. So it's like a low end cut and a high end cut, but it's a bit more than that. It feels like it's bringing the mix either forward in the mix or back in the mix, right? And this is perfect for all of his apps, because sometimes with your EQing, you need to find some room in that EQ to fit something like this in. And this is your perfect place to kind of use this sit dial to make this fit in your mix. Hello, Jamie Lynn, what's going on? Let's mess with the sit dial. So you can hear it thins it out almost. And around here is 0. If we double tap, it brings it back to 0. And if we go down into the minus, this is really going to bring in some of that low end and really bring it forward. You can see where that would fit really nicely in a mix, just to cut through. And of course, last but not least, we have an output button here to control your output. Now, obviously, I have a limiter on here, so it's not going to go over a certain level. And you should use one too, just in case, because it gets bonkers. With our pulse, we also can lock the tempo, so we can sync the tempo with our pulses. And once it's locked, you'll see this pulse dial gets blocked out the way. And we've got a multitude of settings. There's a fair lot too. Like it's 1-to-1. So big long pulses. Half. quarter, all of your favorites, all the family favorites are here, all the way to and you're going to be perfectly in sync if you so desire. Turn off sync and we're back to our dial. Sander Wolf, what's going on? Our guest on the show this week is Sander Wolf. Boom! So make sure you come along and hang out with me and Sander Wolf for the interview this week. Yes? Good. All right, let's talk about the other option here, because not only does this do all these wonderful things, you'll notice there's this little section down the bottom here called the controller. It's the controller. And this is our sidechain panel. And you'll see up here these little sections with a little C next to them. Well, these are our sidechains. So you've got one over here for the rip, you've got one for the pulse, and one for the depth. And you can sidechain all of these. So how do we set up a sidechain? Well, we create a brand new track. So let's go in here and let's load up something like DigiSticks. We'll do a drum beat to set up a sidechain. So let's go in here. We'll host this drum to our kit. We can scroll. Let's put in some kicks. Very simple. We'll do a 4 on the floor, and we'll let's beef it up a bit. So we got snare, snare, clap. We'll put a rim shot in there as well. Why not? And I haven't changed the kit or anything. So now when we hit play, right? Simple. Doesn't matter. We're trying to show the side chaining. So if you want to side chain this out to the drums, what we do is come over here to the effect section and look for multi-bus audio instance. And then you'll see PulseRipper. Clip it in and you'll see you get this version of PulseRipper. It says 2, it's now connected to this. And these drums will control these sections. So obviously you don't want the drums playing. You just want them as a source to send sound into PulseRipper. So we've got that set up. I've gone ahead and muted the drums. So now when we play back, there's no drums, but they're playing, right? So now we can come over here and add to the pulse. And you'll see down the bottom, this movement, that is the drums coming through. So the drums are controlling how much of the pulse is getting through. We've got an attack. We can bring the attack down. We've got a threshold here. And a mix. And a release. So if you want to have those long releases, short release, up to you. So now that drum beat is controlling those pulses. So if you bring the drums back in, you're going to have room right, you can hear that now using the drums as a side chain, filling in those blanks. Let's mute those drums, because you can also do it with the Ripper. Now you'll notice nothing's coming through at the moment because I don't have it turned up. Let's turn up the Ripper. And you can hear it crackling in and out. And the same thing we can do with the depth over here of our pulse. Or you could have all of them connected. And now all of this is being pushed through the rip. Let's add some hats to this as well. So I think you get the idea. I've got another little project I want to open up. So let's do that. We'll clear this. In fact, we'll save this for now because you can save all this stuff. This is what we're going to be looking at on the members show this week. We'll do Ripper, live show, save. Okay, so what we're going to be doing on the members, see all these files here? These are, oops, not all. They're not all of them because they are actually all of them. All these projects here, these are all every morning or every day when I do a show, I create a demo of what I'm going to show for the day. And all these demos have been saved here for the last 5 years. So on the members stream this, we're going to go through heaps of them. Look at this. Some of the early demos I did, like of Yale D and radio noise, MIDI out guitar, like radio unit, heaps of old demos back in 2020. And we're going to go through some of these projects and see if there's anything worth salvaging. That's on the members stream this week. So let's open up this little project here. I better put the noise down. So this is a little noise project I whipped up last night using, what did we use? We used Thermo and no input mixer. And also we've got Glitchscaper as a source to send a side chaining through to these instruments. The other thing I also have is an LFO connected that is controlling the PulseRipper. If I hit play here, you can see the LFO is sending messages to our pulse. So we're going up and down with our pulse, and we've got a side chain coming through for the Ripper, right? And that's coming through from these drums that are playing right now. And then on this side of things, we have, what do we have? No, there's nothing else being animated, I don't think. So there's that. So let's have a listen to this thing. I'll stop it and give you a little goosey gander. So this is quite noisy. There we go. You can hear that pulse going up and down. And we've got an LFO running on the Ripper over here that is connected to the noise. So we've got a hell of a lot of modulation happening right now. James Myers has entered the chat. I see balls written, but I don't see the balls man. Just so you know how I've got this set up, let me show you. Let me show you something. So basically we have MLFO running over here, and they've got two LFOs and they're running really slow. So if I hit play, you can see this LFO is running really, really slow, running along here. And we have a second LFO running just as slow. And I'm going to create an offset. We'll do the phase for this. So it's in a different kind of space. And both these LFOs are being sent out, one to PulseRipper, because you've got all of your preferences open here, so you can send anything to anywhere you want. And I have this connected to the RIP, a CC14 channel 1, and so one of the LFOs is going to the Ripper here, and you can see that animating now, very slow up and down. And the other one is connected the same way. This one's connected to the Pulse, the community Pulse. And this is connected to CC13 channel 1, and that is animating this Pulse Rip over here, which creates this up and down effect. Let's bring them back in. Yeah, baby. But wait, because this thing can be used on some guitar. It sure can. Shall we show you? What's the simplest? Let's open up this old fossil. Let's open up this old fossilized thing that I've never opened anymore. What? I can't even remember how to use GarageBand. What is going on here? Where's my files? Anything? I love iOS. Try to remain calm. Oh, awesome. Sorry, guys. Oh, there we go. We good now? iOS working now? Hey, create a song. Let's go. So what we're going to do is come over here and find Le Guitar. Let's do this old fossilized thing. There's a smart guitar in there. There's a chair as well. How do you add effects? I can't remember. How do you do it? Does anyone remember? It's that one, isn't it? Oh, there it is. It's that one right there. So we got to go plugins. Man, it's been a while since I opened GarageBand. Audio unit and PulseRipper. Alphabetic. No search bar. So primitive. God. Are we? PulseRipper. There you go. So we got our guitar here. We got PulseRipper. There's our guitar. And can we do an autoplay? Let's get rid of autoplay. So you can see how you would use this with a guitar. I'm going to bring this sit up a little bit. And use the pulse as a tremolo. Right? Are you with me? A few little artifacts, but you can definitely do that. Now, the way I used it, I threw it on a guitar, and the problem can be with that is that it kind of sounds like Bear on a playing guitar, kind of like a pedal without a cabinet, yeah. But you can do that because there's so many apps out there. Nembrini have one where you can just load an IR cabinet and then just use this as a distortion. Super cool. So. Let's jump out of GarageBand. Feels like Feels like something so weird. Simon's apps work really well together. That is so true. And I'm going to load one of them up shortly because I'm going to throw this on some vocals in a tick. We are going to cover Echo Flower this week. And next week, we're going to cover Ghost Chorus and the new compressor. Plus, there's also the Super Sitter, which is great for just sitting stuff in the mix. In the mix, lovey. We'll run an ad. We'll do it. Every day, run an ad. Some days, not all days, most days, and you may get an ad or you may not get an ad. And if you do get an ad, well, I'm sorry. But if you don't, hey, you win. Yay, good stuff. All right, let's load this up and we'll clear out this little project here and we'll throw it on some vocals, shall we? Because does it sound good on vocals? It sure doesn't. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing my tits off. I'm just going to make some sound with my voice. Is that all right? We just make some sound with it. So I'm going to come in and throw on PulseRipper. We shall also throw on something like a Barricade, just in case. Lovely. And to top it, we'll put in a reverb and just turn that off for now. Let's find a mic. Sure, I've got one somewhere here. And turn it up a bit and see how we go. Hello, hello. Hey, baby, what's going on? Sweet. Okay, we got PulseRipper lined up, ready to go. It's already making some kind of sounds. Yeah. So, finding good distortions for vocals are very hard normally because you get a lot of feedback, but the ability to sit this in and really thin this out if you need to is just invaluable. So for anything growly or anything like that, you are in a good space. Use a limiter also, but you have the magic of the pulsation. So I think you get what I mean, yeah? You can really get some strange stuff out of just a vocal or just any kind of sound. You really don't need to use a lot. Using this as a sound creation tool and just a coloring tool is really fucking interesting. Plus, you do get a bunch of presets in here as well. We'll leave it on this vocal. So I added a LFO to this too. So we've got our pulse moving over here. That's going to continue moving with all these presets. If we stop it, let's bring this mic back in. Like so. Yeah. Turn off this. So we'll load up a drum beat again. Let's bring in a hammerhead and do some side chaining here. You can side chain with anything, yeah? It doesn't have to be a drum beat. It can be any kind of thing that you want. Maybe some synth sound that is playing like or a gated kind of sound, instrument sound that is gated and sending through big notes. But we're just using drums just to emphasize it. We use this utensils one here. Right, nice and simple. Again, we come over to this section here, multi-bus, instances. And now these drums we can silence. Don't need to hear them. And if we click on this ripper over here and then bring out, you can see it's peeking out over here. Let's bring that down. Yep. Yeah. Pretty cool to be able to turn a microphone into a fucking instrument. So it's pretty gnarly. It works great on things even like a piano or something like that. Let's take this out of here, throw in something like a piano. And of course, I need to connect the keyboard, don't I? Help if I turn Empirism. What's happening? Good to see you. And Dave, I have an idea. So here's our piano. We've got a little piano connected now. And remember, we've got... Man, how good is that? And to make that sit, let's turn these back off. We'll rip it up a bit. And I love, like, if you really want to get messy, this sit button, when you bring this down into the minus, you really... It emphasizes things. Like for this particular piano, it has like the key clicks kind of a piano tech has key clicks and the pedal sounds in there. And hear what it does when I bring this sit down. Like you can't hear those clicks, but when we bring this sit all the way down, it just emphasizes those knocks. There is actually a piano preset. We got a vocal preset in here as well, which I should have really used. Pretty decent stuff. I'm going to throw on here as well. We'll take out this effect and we'll bring in something like Echo Flower, because we're looking at not tomorrow, the day after. So this is Echo Flower. All of Simon's apps pretty much got as very consistent theme through them. They got their side chaining buttons, side chaining panel, your Echo and your Flower. This is a delay, obviously. Well, not obviously, but it says Echo. So you can hear it echoing. You've got a ping pong. We'll cover all these. And we've got this beautiful chorus. My brain's so far ahead of itself, I now forgot what I was going to do next. I was going to put something else in here. This ripper. Brain fart in the morning. Yeah. I was going to throw something else on this. Let's just do another track over here. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to put it on drums, wasn't I? Let's do that. Let's put it on some drums. So we'll throw this side chain off because we've got drums playing here. And we've got some bass. We'll chuck some bass in as well. All right. Let's bring that volume down. I'm going to load up a more fascinating drum pattern here. What have we got? Guest stuff. Go down here. Hey. The perfect distortion. Let's just hear this bass. So we'll turn this off. We'll bypass it. Fuck me. And now we got movement, because that's the beautiful thing about this. It offers us heaps of movement. With our pulse, I think you get the idea, huh? Pretty nice. So it's a pulsation machine. GarageBand covers hello to you. It's a pulsation machine. It's a distortion machine. It's both of them together. It's a side chaining machine like all of these. So again, you can see with the Echo Flower as a side chainer as well. So you can control all of that and open up parameters so you can add LFOs and more depth to that as well as you please. $10 is the price if you want to get it in a bundle with the other apps from our dear friend Simon Alexander. There's the bundle on iOS. It is $24.99 and you get all 4 of these. We're covering this one tomorrow. We're covering Ghost Chorus next week and SuperSticker and all of that. That's the deal. We got not Thomas Christ, that's tomorrow. Pete John's coming up next, and I'm going to get out of here right now. I've got things to do. I've got an ultrasound to go and have today. Yay me, I'm so excited. I'll see you back here tomorrow. What's cooking tomorrow? Cooking tomorrow. What is cooking tomorrow? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me what I'm doing tomorrow on my own show? Melodity. Melodity tomorrow from Compose Audio for Soundbox. Melodity. That's what we're looking at tomorrow. The day after that, we're, of course, looking at Echo Flower. So there's that. What else coming up? Oh, yeah, there's that interview we're doing with Sanderwolf this week. There's another show that'll be up. It'll most likely be Rob Jackson's new app on Friday. And, of course, you asked for it. I love this thumbnail. It's so cool, man. The Creative Hour is back. This week we're doing industrial music. And look at that. Taking on the clockhead robots. We're always taking on the robots. It'll be okay. Well, it's not okay. I already know I have a hernia. They're just seeing how worse it's got in the last fucking 3 weeks, which I think it has got worse. But anyway, enough of that. Who cares about that stuff? It's trivial. We'll see you over at Pete John's. I'm going to dump you over there. He's doing GarageBand Weekly. And, yeah, tomorrow Leela opens up the show with what she's doing. I'll be back. And then Thomas and the whole gang. It's a cavalcade of superstars. What am I talking about? I don't fucking know. Let me just get out of here. Love you lots. Do it all the things. Bye.